On the rally today as the November jobs report now looms. For more on the latest moves, let's welcome in Eric Friedman, U.S. Bank Asset Management Group Chief Investment Officer. Eric, it is good to see you. So your bottom line here, Eric, is you remain, you say, glass half full, right? Favor equities. You know, it's interesting, Eric. I at this point, I don't remember the last time I spoke to a strategist who wasn't glass half full and favored equities. I mean, it is just bulled up across the board. I wonder whether, you know, that's a source of concern at all for viewers who are listening right now.
Yeah, Josh, it's a great point. I mean, we certainly don't want to be on the same side of the boat as everybody else, but you know, the setup, if you will, from both monetary policy as well as the earnings cycle, we think are positives. Clearly, fiscal is an open question. But this is still an environment where this is a market that has to be proven wrong, if you will. And if you look at what we've just come out of in terms of earnings, it's been both top line and bottom line. Last thing I'll say is this: the swing factor we think it's really out there is what happens with the consumer. There's going to be obviously a lot of activity and chatter heading into the retail sales prints of the holiday season. What's going to be very important is what do consumers feel like in the first quarter of next year. So we're still glass half full, not just in stocks. We also think that there's an opportunity in credit, not corporate credit, but really more structured credit, which is, again, a mouthful. But we still think this is a time to add income and add risk to portfolios until proven otherwise.
Eric, on the consumer, what kind of tea leaves are you looking at that's helping you, kind of feel that glass half full feeling about the consumer going into early 2025?
Yeah, Julie, I think the biggest thing is the marriage of top down and bottom up. What I mean by top down is not just survey data, like we'll get to get great information tomorrow with the non-farm payroll data, which of course has a huge standard error, so we can't be too focused on it. But the top down macro data is always helpful to see just what are consumers thinking from a survey basis or just from jobless claims or the employment picture. But probably the most important variable we're paying attention to is bottoms up corporate earnings. And so hearing from a wide swath of retailers, as well as both, big box as well as e-commerce entities, to understand where is that marginal dollar going. And what we're starting to see is that continued bifurcation between lower income and higher income consumers. That's been well documented. It's not new news. But what's most important is understanding through corporate outlooks, what is that middle income consumer doing post the holiday season? Lots of noise through the holiday season, but we think it's really more important to pay attention to corporate outlooks and going to investor days and listening to outlook calls. That to us is probably the most important variable, which is tough to do. Unfortunately, we have a big team to do it.
Eric, on the equity market, even bulls come on the show, and if you ask them what concerns them, they'll, some of them at least